Looky look what I found at our local thrift store. This solid oak bullnose dresser was made with love, but definitely saw some better days. The drawers were sliding incorrectly, and someone tried to fix the rails with these long screws. The rubbing of the doors caused lots of damage, and all in all, she needed some hands on love. Hi, my name is Adi, and I am your new furniture flipper on the block. On this January winterish day, I have set out at trying my hand at giving some new life to furniture that would otherwise be left for the landfills, as well as offer you guys some funny content watching the new girl try and get her bearings. So, just as all the gurus tell us, first thing first, get it cleaned up. And while you watch me work, I would like to invite you to chime in and just let me know, what should I have done differently? What would you do differently? I know I've learned many lessons on this first attempt at breathing new life into this wonderful piece. Really, I just was blessed with getting my first piece, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. So I went in cleaning with this half and half vinegar, water, and some dish soap solution. I know there's all kinds of cleaners out there, but I'm gonna start with what I have. And when I was done with that, I just went back in with some clean water and try to get everything off so nothing would be left behind. Time for sanding, and boy did I. I got myself a mask and some 80 grit for my orbital sander that I already had. Got myself some high-end eyewear and went at it. You can probably see, even though it is time-lapse, still you can see that the sander is just jumping around all over the place. I had to hold it with both my hands. I couldn't wrap my head around what I was doing wrong. I kept moving from place to place to try to see what worked, and I was really getting kind of discouraged. So I tried this sticker scraper or glass scraper that I had, and I know, get yourself a carbide scraper, it's on the list, but it didn't work. So back to sanding. I was really hesitant to use chemical stripper, but I gave it a shot. I learned from other flippers to make sure and cover it with a nylon plastic sheet. And in the meantime, I just went back to trying and get the drawers sanded with the same orbital sander. As you can see, first try, no luck. Look away, look away. I'm killing the dresser. So I did another round, and it did remove more, but, well, I still had to go back to sanding. You can actually watch the shade of the tree above the dresser, although it's time-lapse and I did cut out a few generous portions of me sanding, but you can see how long just by watching the shade come up and over the dresser. I was happy with the results, but I bet you I bent all the sanding rules in the book by lifting the sander on its side and whatnot. So it's a new day, and I both got myself some serious respirator gear, and I put some money into that old sander by changing the sanding plate, having a tech guy at the local DIY store take a look at it. You can see it's still jumping around, but it's smoothed out, and I'm only using one hand and not two. It probably cost me as much as I bought it for, but I didn't have the heart to just chuck it out. You know, we're trying to save stuff around here, people. So on to getting that fine finish I've heard about from the pros by going up from the 80 grit that I initially sanded with, and then I think I went up to 150, then again with the 220, and I finished off with something about above 300. I saved the 400 grit for in between coats. I so much enjoyed feeling how the wood slowly became softer and smoother. It was just a joy. So I did decide to remove all of the rails. Oops, got something there on your face. I got it. I made sure to keep all of the sets together. I'm not sure how important that is, but... And then I patched up some pieces that needed gluing and some wood filler all around the drawers. I also made sure I replaced all of those long screws that were left behind by a former attempt at fixing the drawers. And yep, that's what you get when you use latex instead of rubber gloves while using chemical stripper. I really wanted to get more done, but it was getting dark and cold in the garage, so we set up some light and some heating. And then I got to work with my first layer of primer. So then it was time to sand all the wood filler and tape off and prime the wood handles, and then get some clear lacquer inside and out of the drawer boxes. I used Rust-Oleum's Sage Green with a silk finish. Right away, I wasn't satisfied with the color. Not because it wasn't pretty, just because it seemed a bit nursery-ish. And the furniture was real heavy oak with bullnose handles, and I just felt like it was more of a rustic vibe. I continued because I know that paint dries darker, so I gave it a chance. I thought I'd try my hand at mixing a better shade of the green. I reached a few shades that I liked, but in the end, I just went with this one right there. I held a poll with some family and friends between this Venga varnish, this whitewash, or this walnut lacquer. And if anyone wants to elaborate on the difference between varnish, lacquer, or stain, and when to use what, I'm all ears. So hands down, the Venga was the best, but although I loved how it looked, really I was happy with it, I couldn't cover these slight black marks in the wood, which I did try to remove a couple of times with a few coats of wood cleaner. So I went with the second coat. And here is the final reveal. Thank you guys for sticking with me till the end. I have learned so much on my first furniture flip, and I'm honored you are joining me on my journey here on Raising the Grain.